what part of the problem is that the majority party has no idea of what it's like in our districts. My home county gets very little state money. Our schools get very little state money. Basically, we get very little state money, and our property taxpayers carry the vast burden of running the schools, paving the roads, building the bridges, and all the other services that they subsidize your districts. They subsidize your districts. And it's gotten to a point where every person I know has an exit plan from New Jersey because when they retire, they can't live here till they're 75. They can't live here till they're 75. They have to leave because of the property taxes. They just can't afford it. Because every time you do something new, you spend more money, you take it from our districts. And we get less and less, and the burden gets greater and greater. You talk about, oh, we might have had to have a tax increase of 20%, maybe 30%. Well, there's actually towns in our districts that have had those tax increases. One town I'm aware of is Lacey Township, had a 25% tax increase last year. 25%. What about the old ladies in Lacey Township who had to come up with another $2,500, $3,000 to pay their taxes? Well, we don't care about them. We care about our old ladies, right? You only care about your own old ladies. You know, I'll tell you what one thing it's done. Back when I was a commissioner, I told the freeholder board, I said, well, I was never a commissioner. Back when I was a freeholder, I told us that we should never become reliant on the state because they're never going to give us more money. They're just going to take more from us and redistribute it to the east, and that we should become self-reliant. So we formulated a plan to become self-reliant. And as of about a decade ago, Hunterdon County has been debt-free. And then in the last couple years, Warren County saw it and did the same thing. They're debt-free. And a lot of our towns have become debt-free. You know why? It's called leadership. It's called fiscal responsibility. And if your town doesn't have that, then you should suffer the consequences of that. You voted for those people, and you loved it when they were throwing out the goodies, right? We love the goodies. We love the goodies. And then the bill comes in.
On the bill.
It's like that woman in New York who goes to the fancy restaurants, orders all the food, and then doesn't pay for it, right? She expects somebody else to pay for it. Well, that's exactly what you're doing here. Jersey City said, we had a grand party, and the bill has finally come, and we don't want to pay it. Well, how is that my folks' problem, who have been totally fiscally responsible for years because they have no choice? There is no money tree for my folks to take money from if they don't act responsible. This is something that you voted for, and you should pay for it. Enough is enough. This state is so expensive for the average person that even though we have one of the highest incomes in the country, we have one of the lowest standards of living because of the taxation. And it's about time that you man up and woman up and take responsibility for your failed policies, your failed fiscal policies, your irresponsibility, and pay your own way. Don't look at somebody else, because eventually you're going to run out of the other person's money, and then what are you going to do? Then what are you going to do? It's about time you take responsibility for the decisions you made and stop talking about, oh, we need this, oh, this is important. You know what? Our folks need it too. We don't live in a perfect place. We have issues, we have problems. things that you would never understand. But you continue to take and take and take. Enough is enough. This is just a money grab. Just a money grab. And it's got to stop. The state's unaffordable, and you're making the most productive people in this state and the most productive corporations in this state leave. And then what are we going to do? Who are you going to tax?